What's up, fellow Walking Dead fans? Solid Dave Snake here, continuing my reviews for the Walking Dead TV Series 8 action figures by Mcfarlane Toys. And in this review, we're going to take a look at the deluxe box set for the series, which is Morgan Jones with a bloody paint variant and a impaled walker with a spike trap. So this set is based off of the Season 3 episode Clear, whenever Rick, Carl, and Michonne had ventured back to Rick and Carl's hometown to stumble across Morgan and discover some walker traps he had set up and a totally different Morgan than he had previously met in Season 1. A lot had changed with him. And there is a lot to go over with this deluxe box set, so we're going to jump right into it. But before I do, I'm going to scoot these figures to the side for now and flip this box around and give you a little peek at this packaging. I really loved it. And we get to see the entire series for Series 8 here. And a couple pictures for this deluxe box set, as well as the new 10-inch Walking Dead action figure we're getting of Michonne, and it shows her in her two stances. So I really like the layout on this packaging, on the front sides and then the back, showing what all else is available. And I will be having reviews of all this stuff on the back. Me and Mr. Evil Cheese, we do reviews on all these Walking Dead action figures, so you know you're safe in our hands if you collect these Walking Dead action figures. Just stay tuned and we'll have them all for you. Real nice picture there on the side. So very cool boxing, and I love that window display with them in there. And to kick this all off, first we'll pull the figures back in view here, but we'll start it off with the trap piece and this impaled walker, which I really love, and I'll show you how it looks in 360 degrees here with the walker impaled on the spike. And this is the only spike that she will fit onto, is this bamboo piece. There are 7 spikes in total. And this is a great representation of the traps he had set up, with the big cable spool and then all the spikes strapped to it. And there is a lot of detail in such a simple little prop piece here. A lot of fine detail in this wood grain. Get it up real close here. And you can see all the fine sculpting to this. Even the boards a little offset from each other, giving it a more natural and realistic look. Even on the top, nice detail in the wood grain up here. Having the bolts, it would have been nice to have the bolts painted silver, but that's a minor complaint. Even a little blood splash here. And that blood splash is in the corresponding piece that impels the walker, so that's pretty cool. And it may be a little complicated to get these pieces in, these spikes. They are all lettered, and there's a corresponding letter on the bottom that these go into, the bottom of the spikes. But I'll give you a nice little 360 view here of the whole thing, because this is how it's supposed to look. Would have been nice if they would have included an instruction manual, but this is how it goes. And there are 5 spikes that are wooden, and then there are 2 that are bamboo. And the bamboo with the blood is the one that impels the female walker. It's the only one that's thin enough to impel her, because she has a very small hole for the spike. But this one does fit in there nice. So really cool little extra diorama piece here. Will look nice in some displays, and was just a well thought out piece. And now let's take a look at the standout piece in this set in my mind. And that is this new walker that we get. And one thing that I like about this the most is that it is a female walker. Well, let's see, we've only gotten one female walker in Bicycle Girl for the TV series. And even with her, it's hard to tell that she was a female. But this one is clearly noticeable. And she has great detail all around. Really tattered clothing. Really gory and bloody hands. Nice folds and wrinkles to the clothing. Good blood detail where the spike goes through. Even a little slash up above that. And pretty nice detail on the face as well. Looks very gruesome. Almost looks like its right eye is missing. It's not. It's just very tiny. I see in there. A lot of blood around the mouth. A lot of the detail is hidden with the gore on this face. There's a lot of blood on it. Even detailed hair for the zombie. Just rips all through her dress. And one of her feet is exposed and the other has a shoe on. Little dress shoe. It's hard to see in there because it's so dark, so I'll try to pull to the side for you. She has a little bit of gore on her calf as well. So pretty highly detailed extra zombie figure we get in this box set. And she is well articulated above the torso. Below the waist, she has no articulation. But her head is on a ball joint. And will rotate 360 degrees. And even look up and down and from side to side a little bit. And she has ball joints and hinges on both shoulders, but they're both a little different. Because you really want her reaching out when she's on that spike trap display. But this right hand side is a little more like other figures. But as you can see, this one is slunched forward for that grabbing appearance. And she has the same thing at the elbows, ball joint and a hinge, which you can get a fairly good bit of movement out of and rotate all the way around. And all she has at the wrists are cuts, so all you can get is a swivel out of both sides. And she will twist at the waist. There is a cut there. And there's nothing below. Below the waist she has no articulation, but really she's more of a prop piece, so that's really not needed. Oh, one last thing before I take this zombie away. I almost just noticed it. She is missing her pinky finger on her left hand. I think that's a nice little point of detail they threw in there. Cool. So, very neat walker, and really adds a pickup value to this. This is one of the high selling points for this set. And we'll stick her back on her walker trap here. Slide her to the back. And now let's take a look at Morgan Jones from this set. And he is pretty much exactly the same Morgan Jones, the same exact mold of the single release of Morgan in this series. However, he does have a bloody paint job to the entire body mold, as well as two of his weapons, two of his accessories, his bow staff and his M4. So you get some extra nice paint variation there. But he also comes with this hood down piece. He doesn't come with the piece for the hood being up. He comes with one that is down, and he does not come with the extra head sculpt with the mask. So there are some differences, but I think that this is such a great figure it almost warrants another pickup. I'll be going into a lot more depth in his actual individual review from the series, but right now let's just take an overall look at this Morgan Jones, and we'll start off with his accessories. Take a look at his bow staff, which is exactly the same as the one in the single release. However, we get an extra blood splash on both sides of the staff. So, very nice touch. And the same thing with the M4. And it's very noticeable on this. There's a great blood splash to both sides. That came out very nice. And his backpack, unfortunately, does not have any blood splatter on it, which I was really surprised about. They really should have added it on this. And I'll just slide it off here just to show it to you. However, it is exactly the same. Works the same way. This end comes out so you can get it around Morgan and plugs into this slot right here. But great detail on this backpack. Let me get in close on it. It's a little dark. It may be hard to come out here on screen. But I love all the detail in the straps and buckles and pouches. All the folds to the actual sack. Even detail on the straps. Having extra pouches and such here. So, a shame they didn't cover this in blood splatter, but still a great piece and nice to get another backpack. But now let's get Morgan up here. And I won't go over his articulation since the articulation will be coming up in his individual review. But just let's take a look from head to toe on this new paint job. And let me talk about his head sculpt first, because I really think this is one of the overall better head sculpts in these TV series Walking Dead action figures. That really has a great likeness to Lenny James. The head scan they did on him came out pretty much flawless. Hair looks great. And that extra hood piece. I do like this. That looks good. Came out nice. The underside of it. And wow, he has been killing a lot of walkers, because that's a lot of blood splatter. He's got it all over. Back of his arm. All the way down to his feet. You can even see it on his boots. So, real nice variant. I'm happy they did this, but it's not 100% accurate to how he looked in that episode. He was wearing darker clothing, where this jacket is kind of what he wore in this last season of The Walking Dead. So that did kind of surprise me, but that's a very minor gripe. Oh no, I think this came out great, and even though the colors don't exactly represent the episode clear, it still works as a great action figure and a nice paint variant for Morgan. If it was a more minor character, I might have complained about getting a blood splattered version, but with Morgan, I don't mind at all. I'll take another figure of Morgan. One of my favorite characters in the show, and I am just really happy that we finally got him in Series 8. So, alright everybody, I hope you enjoyed the review. I really think that this box set was very unique. It kind of surprised me when Mcfarlane announced it. But whether you bought the single-carded Morgan or wanted to hold out for this, both of them warrant buys. I can picture a lot of people only getting one or the other, but really, if you're a big fan of these action figures, you'll probably want to get both, because the walker in this set is really nice and just a nice overall display piece, having that spool with the spikes on it. Just a great box set, and I was happy to see this done by Mcfarlane Toys. So, high recommendation. And stay tuned, everybody, because there will be a lot more Walking Dead TV Series 8 action figure reviews coming very soon.